Hi everyone, my name is Eric Stars. I'm an intern here at the Catholic Student Center, and this is my CLD capstone project.
As an intern, one of my jobs was weekly adoration. In the fall of 2019, we had weekly adoration in silence and averaged 7 people attending the service. I needed to think outside the box to develop a plan that met the needs of our students. I had a few goals in mind. 1. Higher attendance at our weekly adoration services. 2. Bringing more students involved with the program and helping them see their gifts and share them with the community and show them that God has given them. I reached out to students to see what they would want in an adoration service. And from there, I developed a 4-week cycle of adoration. 1 was in silence, 2 was a student reflection, 3 was praise and worship music, and the 4th was appetizers afterwards.
My process for choosing students to be a part of this program were students who were involved either through CSU or a work study, or students that I just knew personally. I also reached out to students who I knew had a musical talent and wanted to give them a place where they could share their gifts with the rest of the community.
At the last adoration of the semester last fall, I tested out each style of adoration in one night. There was a student reflection on adoration, followed by praise and worship music, and concluding with appetizers and snacks. We had 17 people in attendance that night. The value of service played a big role for students involved in the program, not only by playing praise and worship music and the piano, but also writing and delivering beautiful reflections, and also students who were giving their time to help set up and clean up for the weeks that we had appetizers and snacks. As this project progressed through the semester, I had to make some scheduling changes that conflicted with liturgical events such as Ash Wednesday and Holy Week, and also working at a university, having to compete with spring break. Each week was different, but not always in the same order. I was able to create a budget for this program. Out of $300, $200 was allocated for food expenses, this coming out to $50 per month. And the last $100 was divided up to compensate the students who gave their musical gifts and talents to the program. The original name of this project was Adoration and Appetizers. However, as we were set for the semester to begin, some students brought it to my attention that the name was a bit misleading. It made them think that there was going to be appetizers each and every week, so I changed the name to Adoration and Then Some. For the flyers, I wanted to name the people who were giving their reflections and playing the music so that their friends and other students might see it and attend in support of them. For January and February, I used a more upbeat and exciting background for the flyer to get people's attention. As for March, I took a more somber tone because of it being Lent. I wanted to be respectful of this sacred time, and I also wanted to give those people who were giving reflections their due. I wanted to give March a somber tone for Lent and adoration. For the weeks we had student reflections, I chose 4 themes. January was faith, February was love, March was loss, April was hope. My goal here was not major moments in the students' lives, but rather small ones, and what that emotion meant to them. Here is a small sample.
Ping pong balls represent sin. The speaker is big enough that I can fit the ping pong balls in, but not big enough that I can stick my hand in to get them out. So, what does that mean? It means that we are all bound by sin on this world. I can't take out the ping pong balls by myself, my hand doesn't fit. And these ping pong balls are...
For the weeks we had praise and worship music, I asked students who had musical gifts and talents to see if they were interested in playing music for us. Each week we had praise and worship, the music choices reflected the theme of the month. There was booklets made for students to follow if they wanted to. For the weeks we had appetizers, I wanted to do something special for the students. For February we went to John's Donuts. April we would have went to Pie Pizza. For January and March, I scheduled to pick up food from Sam's and Schnucks, again to give people a variety of choices. The weeks we had appetizers, we had a student volunteer to help set up food with me. They would help prepare the plates of food while I stayed upstairs to monitor the time during adoration. They also stuck around to help bring everything back down to the kitchen and help clean up. The results, I believe, speak for themselves. We had on average 11 people at Adoration during the first half of the semester. As a new program, I believe the goal was achieved. We also saw students speak open and honestly from the heart about what faith and hope meant to them.
The recent pandemic of COVID-19 also did affect this project. We started to have to decide whether I would do virtual adoration or just cancel adoration for the rest of the semester entirely. And if I did have it virtual, how would that look like?
I decided not to do virtual adoration. One reason was I didn't want to offend anyone who may have had an objection about videotaping Christ in a sacred space. The other was that as we learned more information about COVID-19, I decided to self-quarantine for a few weeks.
Overall, I think for my project, it was a huge success. We had a lot of students more engaged with the process and just attending as well. And as I was reminded during this process, it's not my job to ensure that people come, but do the back work so that students and other people can attend.